So the first proposal for consideration is to make Kahite a gated community as originally marketed, but without a guard. Refurbish the guardhouse, like was said, the POA has this in the budget this year, and Public Works would like to coordinate that rehabilitation with whatever proposal Kahitians finally adopt, so that it's coordinated. Install controlled gates open during daylight. Obviously we have to have unabated access during the day for our golf and tennis activities and so forth. So that would be the plan. Cameras would be still there and active, so we would have monitoring. Install architectural fencing and landscape the entrance at the gate system and guardhouse so that not only does it look much more attractive, it prevents people from bypassing the entrance or going up the exit to gain entrance and bypass cameras. We'd increase and make more attractive the lighting system and add a web-based surveillance system. More about that in a moment. So that's what it looks like today as you drive up to the guardhouse. That's the entrance, and what we're proposing takes place just before the guardhouse. As you were driving up, this would be your approach. This is a recent picture. Right before the guardhouse is a turnaround, and the gate system is intended to be right before the guardhouse. It would look like this. Now, this is a gate closed view. You would not normally see this during the daylight hours as this is shown, because the gates would normally be open. Also, let me point out that the gate entrance keypad for manual entry would not be located in the front as shown, but it would be before the turnaround, so someone coming through would not block folks that have an auto pass to come in, or as it turns out shouldn't be here and has to turn around and go back out. This is more like what it would look like during the day with the gate open. However, even this picture does not show the exit gate open. That would be open as well during daylight hours. You notice also we have a welcome to Kahite plaque there, code, and lights that are above each of the stone pilings that are ending the gates and the fencing. Attractive landscaping. Try to make the place look inviting, yet give us some protection. Again, this would be open during daylight hours, and the exit gate as well. This is what it might look like at night. The gate would be closed, but it is available to be made to open by pre-programming for events that we may want to have during the evening hours. More on that in a moment. So, operating hours. Leave the gate system open during daylight hours. No disruption to golfer activities or any resident coming in or out, or contractors or the like. Control access during the night hours, and that can be easily modified by programming so that if we have special events at night, the gate can be opened for a prescribed time. Some of the features the gate would have is how do you get in? Well, there's a keypad that gives you access. You put in your 4-digit code and you have the gate open. We can have automatic vehicle identification checks where you just have this on your vehicle. It reads it as you drive through. You've seen these on the interstate where you don't have to pay tolls if you have their auto fee system. Same idea here. It reads the vehicle, opens the gate. You can have a clicker, much like your garage door opener. Click that, the gate opens. Power failure. If the power fails, this thing has emergency backup. In the event of failure of the backup, it has a manual override as well. There's an SOS system, that's auto recognition for emergency vehicles, so fire, police, ambulance, they can get in unencumbered by this system. The terminal would look something like this, 4-digit code. There are over 3,000 codes. We can have codes for special occasions, temporary codes. For every residence we can have a code, for every property owner have a code. And what you would do is, if you were visiting someone here and you didn't have a code, and it's in the evening, because the gate's open during the day, you just scroll down, find their name on the screen, press enter, it will call them, and they can then dial a single number on their phone and the gate opens for you. Some of the option devices I had mentioned, the auto recognition system, that basically looks like these two things, the AVI transceiver and a identity tag that's mounted either on your bumper, on your windshield, some part that's easily readable on your car, car, truck, motorcycle, whatever it is that you're driving. The clicker is basically that, what you see. It looks very much like the clicker to get into your garage. I do not know at this time whether that can be programmed into a car system so the clicker is not needed, but we'll investigate that if it comes to this selection. SOS system is a standard system, universal in North America, where any emergency vehicle that is equipped as a certified emergency vehicle can get entrance into it. It involves their communication systems that automatically opens the gate. Residence control for delivery after hours. Again, that can either be programmed, or we can use the keypad where the deliverer comes and puts goes to the screen and finds you, rings your phone, and the gate opens. Control access for contractors. We can give them temporary passes that will expire when their work is done, for them to work at prescribed times within the neighborhood. The post office has its auto key system. It's part of the system that U.S. Postal Services require, and they will have that for entrance. And we'll have provisions, of course, for public works, paper delivery, and all those folks that legitimately should have access 24/7 here. Webcam monitoring at the gate. Timestamp. We'll know who comes in, when they come in. If someone's ringing your phone and wants to come in the middle of the night, you can look on the webcam, see who's at the gate, so you have a visual as well as them talking to you on the telephone. Typical webcam camera system. So what's the benefits? We control unwanted visitors, especially at night when we're most vulnerable. It's easy access for residents. Easier identification of all vehicles entering and leaving Kahite at off hours with timestamp of all arrivals. And less traffic noise and greater safety walking the streets as we drive around, as drive-around traffic is reduced in the evening. Also, there is available homeowner insurance at a reduced rate through over a dozen insurance companies, as at the website shown here. Insurance companies believe the gates reduce claims and therefore offer reduced rates to people who live in gated communities. A greater sense of security within our community that we have today. The gate is closed at night. You close your garage door, you close your front door. Why not just close our gate, keep our place safe during the evening? preserved or increased property value for Kahite residents and property owners. All of these developments that are going in, and the reason they're going in is to increase the value of the property, to make it more sellable. It certainly cannot hurt our property values. The guardhouse entrance, that will greatly be improved. The maintenance will be coordinated with the gate system so that it all looks planned and looks much nicer than it does today. So with that attractive gate and landscaping and lighting and maintenance-free fencing and an upgraded guard system, the guardhouse itself, it looked like the upscale community it's supposed to. So what does this system cost? The system as envisioned has a rather wide range because the level of detail has not been prescribed. $35,000 to $60,000. Our low bid proposal was $35,000 and includes the basics for what has been presented, but you can really increase that a lot by how elaborate you get with your gate, with your landscaping, with the quality of camera and your fence design. Upkeep in the system is really not that expensive unless there are multiple code changes and new setups that would take much more time. The maintenance of the gate itself is pretty straightforward. There's only 2 operators, and so we have an estimate of approximately $1,000 a year. That can vary depending upon basically code change work. We may be able to do our own programming and code changes and reduce costs, but we don't want to assume that any Kahitian will take that on, so it is a possibility as we go forward. So how do we pay for this project? Well, we have basically 2 options. One option is to submit this project for the 5-year capital budget inclusion. You would go through the Finance Advisory Committee and the management team that would be responsible for it, in this case Public Works. That would get put in to the budget if it made the cut of all the projects that are going in there, and then we would vie for our project with all the others that are in that budget to see if we could get it approved. We perhaps would not, or not for quite some time. Another approach, which is we're all excited about, is the new POA-sponsored private funding of capital projects program. That program allows anyone who's a Telego Village resident or property owner to donate to the POA property. I mean, some even outside organizations could do this as well. The point of it is that we take care that when this is given to the POA, all things are considered so the POA understands the full cost of ownership and maintenance of it. And what's nice about it is that because it's privately funded, and in this case Kahite property owners or residents could donate to this, we may get this project a lot sooner than if we went the other route, and it would otherwise perhaps never get done. So an exciting way to get something done in the future. So this is an example of how our private funding might work for this project and for a subsequent project that we have later in this presentation. The POA funding would be for operations and maintenance expense, and that would allow us not to have annual fundraisers or ongoing concern for funding the maintenance. The number of Kahite households is 331 approximately now in Kahite, and there are over 500 properties with property owners that do not have households on those sites. With varying contributions, this is how things might work. If we just had households donating to this project, and if 100% of them donated $150, that would give us our $50,000 target, which is probably a good number for what this project is really going to come in at. If only 75% of those households donated, $200 would be required from each household. However, if we had just 50% of the property owners and households donate, you would only need $120 from each household and property owner, again yielding our $50,000 target figure. Obviously, the more people that donate to this project, the less each has to pay, and it's easier on all. One thing I would really want to stress, though, that this is a one-time voluntary contribution. It's not going to be asked for again for this project, once and done.